starting in the name of Allah, the most merciful, mighty, and gracious to all. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and welcome to the class of Business Ethics. Today, students, we are going to discuss a new concept, a new content, and that is the corporation company's tendency toward consumer and advertisement. Now, here we are going to discuss two contents. One is the consumers, the customers, and the second is advertisement. Mainly both are the contents of your marketing. Now here in this section, the real idea we are going to discuss that how corporations can protect the right of the consumer and how corporations do best in the advertisement. मतलब जे corporation संगा consumer protect की और corporation संगा valid advertisement introduce की. So here in this section we are going to discuss the tendency, the responsibility of the corporation businesses toward its consumer and advertisement. A very simple concept. Now here let's start from the first, that corporate responsibility towards consumer. That what are the basic responsibilities, accountabilities of a business toward its consumers. Gora yow destaso customer, yow destaso consumer. Mostly when customer or consumer chide yow sense ke afnu. But there is a bit difference between consumer and customer. That consumers, they are the end users, is it? And customers say they come before your consumer. It says that consumers are the most important stakeholder of a corporation. Why? Because if consumer don't buy, commercial businesses cease to exist. Now simply stated that way, the consumers are the basic stakeholder of the organization, of any of the business. If you remember, we discussed two types of stakeholders: internal stakeholder and external stakeholder. A consumer is actually your external stakeholder, not directly connected with the or employed by the organization or company, but having direct impact over the businesses. Like for example, if any of the consumers in any of the state, if they boycott the company's product, so what will be happen? Definitely company the company will totally be stuck. So therefore the influence, the buying behavior, is it consumer buying behavior, that has clear a direct impact on the organizational transactions. So therefore my example if consumer don't buy, simply means that if consumers do a boycott about the product of a company, so business, the company, corporate will definitely cease to exist. It means that the buying power of the consumer directly affect the organization, transactions or businesses. So therefore consumers' interest should be foremost when business are design and delivering the product. अब here चिकला हम organizations company दा चिकला for example design की, ये formulate की, ये खपल product formulate की, ये खपल product design की, so they must clear think about the consumer interest. अब what is the consumer's interest? अब किदेशी consumers, they have an interest toward the price of the product. Might be किदेशी, let's suppose consumers चिकम दे aha price oriented थी. Their consumer दासी दी चाहो, let's suppose quality oriented थी, is it? Like suppose if we have a consumers, they are quality oriented, they never, let's suppose argue clear upon the price. Aha price चिकम दे aha sacrifice न कई, aha quality त गोरी. They clear have the potential to pay the price, but they need quality. So it means that is the consumer interest. So whenever organizations, the businesses, they design and delivering their products, so they must have to make some policies, and these policies must be with according to the consumer interest. So it means that consumer, external stakeholder, they are having a direct impact on the organizational businesses. Now the corporate responsibility toward consumers. What can be the different responsibilities of a corporate toward consumers or customers? There are so many. Idea. Number one, the duty to inform consumer truthfully about the product. About the product what? About its contents, about its purpose, and about the uses. Let me give you an example. If you have seen the syrup, any of the syrup, the cough syrup, for example, the temperature syrup, the tablet, whatever, you will find out that each and everything is explained on that syrup, like the composition of the syrup, the ingredients in that syrup, the purpose, like for example, if it is sugar free, so totally it will be mentioned on the syrup that is sugar free. It means diabetic patients, they can easily use that, why this syrup is for, is it? So purpose is also explained, composition is also explained, and even sometimes uses is also explained. Like for example, adults, if they are taking, so they have to take 2 or 3 spoons twice or 3 times a day. If let's suppose unadult, they are using, children they are using, they have to take 1 spoon within a day or 1.5 spoon within a day. So it means that this is the corporate responsibility, that when they are introducing the product to the customer, they must show the purpose, the uses, and the proper content, adequate composition clear to the customer. Simply stated, that information must be shared with the customers. Then second, we have the duty not to mispresent or conceal information about the product. It simply means that whatever the information or whatever the quality, trait or characteristics possessed by the product, it clear must explain, express, present all those characteristics to the customer. मतलब corporation चिकम product, let's suppose market के रावली उस product के चिकम quality दा सही शो अगर quality बाइट सही शो चेता सो अखबार customer सारा share के trait share के, don't mispresent the product. अब suppose लक ज़वाया मा कि I have a mobile company. अब ज़मा mobile चिकम दे अगोई battery चिकम दा suppose ज़वाया मा I have a claim कि आगा 15 साता या less साता चलेगी, is it? अब that is the unique characteristic of my quality. अब my product उस आया द product चिकम दे really the battery चिकम दा mobile चिकम battery दा really it will for example acquire up to 10 hours, it will really execute operate up to 10 hours, is it? So whatever the characteristics the product possesses, it must be validly explained to the consumer. Don't mispresent your product to the consumer. मतलब चिकम explanation they come for example trait staff product की नष्ट दे सचवा अखा गलत बयानी मकोई. Whatever the quality you have in your product, you must have to explain to the product to the customer. No se kada hui. This is the responsibility of the consumer, that they the corporate, that they shouldn't mispresent or conceal. Conceal matlab मुख्फी सातन information about the product. The next we have the duty to take due care to prevent any foreseeable injuries. It means that this product or the product of the corporation, if it can provide any harm to the individual in upcoming future, so you must have to give, let's suppose, a proper information, and that information or this extra taking care of your customer is known as your due care. Like suppose to take the example of anti-allergic pills. Anti-allergic pills, if you are taking twice or 3 times within a day, so it will have an adverse impact on your skin, is it? Might be it can create scabies or rabies. That is an unforeseeable injuries. When you are explaining or providing a detailed information to your customer that it has an adverse effect as well, so it means that you are doing an extra care of your customer. So this extra care of your customer, simply that is known as your due care. I'm going to a due care process, extra taking care, is it? Sometimes products also contains extra taking care. Let me give an example. If you focus clear on the packaging of a biscuit, अक्सर बता सो biscuit package लीदली देर खच लग biscuit से कम दी कना. If you have seen चे अवई कम चे packet के बंदी सही हुआ बे packet के they are basically stable within a tray, and that tray is again folded clear with a white wrap plastic, is it? That is totally wrapped with a plastic, is it? That comes to tray de यो हो पास packing de और यो है कि दन्ना biscuit प्रति within a tray सही हुआ. That tray चे कम दे, that is a due care, and then it is again wrapped with a white plastic. Why it is? Because the corporate want, the business want, the company want that their customers should get the same taste clear when they prepared biscuit clear in their, let's suppose, factory. چې کله فیکټری کې بسکټ تیار شوی دی هغه چې کوم ټیسټ دی صحیح شو نو بزنس دا وای کارپوریټ کمپنی دا وای چې د کم کسٹمرز دی صحیح شو they must have to get the same taste when clear that was prepared in the factory. No zaka it means that they must be crispy, they should feel clear same crisp, same for example the taste. No zaka way that is clear this tray and this rapid clear white wrap that is simply known as your due care. Then I allow no due care kidishi like for example within a factory which comes a machine when organizations or supervisors they have some special protection procedures is it to keep their employees from harm, away from harm, so that is simply known as again the due care. Now us corporate responsibility da first they provide the full piece of information, contents, purposes and uses. Then they also provide they shouldn't provide the mispresentation clear or false information about the product, and then they provide the extra taking care about the customers to prevent any unforeseeable injuries. Hope inshallah idea bata sul laga clear shawi hum. As I told you that organizations having some right due to social contract with the consumers, so just because of this social contract consumers also having some right over the organization. What are those rights? How businesses can protect the rights of the consumer. So in this slide we are going to discuss the protection of consumer rights by the businesses or by the corporation, and this is just because of the social contract, the social boundness, is it? Related rights the consumer have in their social contract with corporations. The consumer's rights can be number one, the right of safety, to be protected from harmful product. Like suppose awalene chikam right the consumer that right the organization should give a safe product to them, or consumers have the right that they should get clear a safe product. So this safe product right is known as the right of safety. It means that it should be protected, or consumers should be protected from harmful products. Gora, I would like to give an example. As a hotel example, already matasla clear kadi hum di, lekin inshallah it will make your idea more clear. Suppose we have a machine, the App Queen Pro machine. Tas boxer lidli da kam che aksar TV mane khai che kam khalak da khete exercise kai, the belly exercise, they want to make the abs clear on the belly, they have a proper machine, App Queen Pro machine. Ab gora kala hum che App Queen Pro machine if you want to buy, the company will properly give you the instruction booklet. Even they also clear will provide you clear the CDs, and CDs contains the detailed information from the company side clear to the consumer. That will tell you that how you have to install the product, and then how you have to carry clear the different exercises on such products. And then they also will give you the information that if you are using this product, this machine from such angle, that will provide you harm. मतलब का सासो गलत एंगल द मशीन इस्तेफादा कोई नो दस तासो मसल्स मनी स्ट्रेस रावस्ते शी, and it will create the adverse impact, is it the harmful impact on your body. No zaka way it might be that there is a pull in your, there can be a pressure clear in your muscles. No zaka way cha which kai whatever sexual the harmful information is, they provide clear each and every aspect information to the customer just to keep away them from harmful, let's suppose symptoms. That is simply known as this right of the consumer is simply known as the right of safety. It means that they must be safe. Organization must be provide the safe angles to the consumer. Second right of the consumer, that is the right to know about the product. It means that organization should provide full detailed information about the product. Like Hario chikam saso products di avoid composition, avoid information, is it avoid purposes, avoid uses, is it each and everything is totally labeled on the product. That is the right to know about the product. Dena ilawa guarantee, warranty, is it repairing, all the information, is it? So it comes, that is the right of the consumer, that they must know about the product, detailed information about the product. Third, we have the right to be heard. It means that customers, businesses, they must heard about the complaints of the customer. It doesn't mean only complaints. सिर्फ दा मतलब न दा जे सिर्फ organizations چې کوم دي هغه صرف complaints واوري feedback هم اوري شي. Like I would like to give an example. If you focus on the websites of the company, you will find out alta your question your tab likely FAQ, frequently asked questions. Now this section of in the website, it basically explains that if consumers have any suggestion, any query, any feedback, they can give their suggestion, feedback, query clear to the business or to the company about the product. That is the right to be heard about the, for example, complaints. It doesn't mean, again I'm repeating, that doesn't mean that only complaints. It can be a suggestion, it can be a feedback. Like Surf Excel chikamne awo yo survey kareo. How much customers they are satisfied from the formula of Surf Excel or from the strength of Surf Excel. So bya agi chokala agi your token ki kheo Surf ki danna inside the packet. You have to submit your suggestions, and then you have to write down your suggestions on this piece of paper, and then you have to submit it into the organizational PO box number. या कसान چې کوم ایمیل لري یا دغه لري انټرنیټ لري نو تاسو FAQ نه هم استفاده کولی شي. That was basically the right, and that was the right to heard. Is it? That was the right to complaint. نور هم ډېر example کېدای شي. Like take the example of a courier company. If I am sending my courier to somewhere else, to any of other, let's suppose city, डाक چې ورته وایو मेल چې ورته وایو. अब یو city نه بل city ته زه سامان استوم courier استوم هغه courier ورک شي. Is it? Now it is my right, this is the consumer right, that the organization, that the company business must submit the complaint of the customer that his stuff is basically, let's suppose that is missing. So that is the right to heard about the consumer. And the fourth right of the consumer, that is the right to be compensated if any harm is done to consumer. Like څنګه ما تاسو وایي چې ګور organization نه طرف له کس تاوان consumer لا ملاو شو نو باید هغه تاوان چې کوم دی consumer protect کی. Like for example, take the example of Pel چې کوم ACs دي صحیح شو Pel AC, Pel fridge, refrigerator صحیح شو Pel appliances چې کوم دی. Pel والا compressor مطلب I'm talking about the AC compressor. They have the 10 years warranty of the AC inverter compressor. आपका 10 year दन्ना दे खराब शो, is it? No, Pel is responsible to give you the compensation. दा बतासुला मुकम्मल दगा दर गई, new compressor दर गई. That is clear the compensation from the business side, सही हुआ? And if it is provide harm to the consumer, now in this case the organization is responsible to compensate to the customer. Yes, another example, road example rawali, چې څنګه ما تاسو وې چې suppose from the courier company I want to send a courier to another city, or the courier چې کوم دی let's suppose دا ډاک چې کوم دی دا ورک شولو. صحیح شو that is basically missing through the elegance of the businesses. The business د لاسه ورک شوی دی صحیح شو نو اوس business is responsible to compensate me. صحیح شو. So this right of the consumer is known as the right to be compensated. So there are so many other rights as well. सिर्फ मा few rights legally the consumer rights صحیح شو that they have over the businesses, and these are the right of safety, the right to know about the product, the right to be heard about the complaints, suggestions, is it, frequently asked, for example, feedbacks, and the right to be compensated if it is to the consumer. Hope inshallah a bit idea batasula clear shawi hum. Now the second marketing issue, and that is advertisement. What are elanat? Because simply the advertisement explain kama. Now what is advertisement? Advertisement is simply a marketing tool. It is a technique, and that is a technique that where seller and buyer they meet together, or it's a platform that where it required to meet the sellers and buyers. Simply that is simply known as advertisement. Ya bal alfaz ke zada wila shama che advertisement is simply a source of communication from the seller toward the buyer. Now I have mentioned the different advertisement definition. Few of the definitions I would like to share with you. That advertisement is to inform consumers, customers about product and motivate them to pursue or to purchase. मतलब advertisement मुझ सारे उदास technique दे where the seller will provide information to the consumer Why? Because they want to influence clear the consumer, the buying behavior of the consumer, and they are motivating clear them to purchase or to pursue. Then another, advertisement is a big business and it is significantly affecting the consumer. Bura advertisement gata sida, advertisement gata dada through advertisement ممكن دا پتا ولګي چې now the product is available in the market. If for example advertisement نه وي نو most of the information that was escaped from our mind. نو موږ ته نن سبا ټي وي نه دا advertisement نه دا پتا ولګي صحیح شو چې دا رقم products چې کوم دي صحیح شو دا زموږ state country کې available دي. So now corporate ethical responsibilities in advertisement. That in advertising it is not to be deceive or conceal the truth about the product. دا وایي چې اوس advertisement خو دی لیکن advertisement کې د corporate business sexual responsibilities are ethical. So whenever advertisement is developed by the organization, چې کله هم advertisement organizations جوړي نو باید دغه organization چې کوم advertisement جوړي sexual دې کې دروغ نه وي، دې کې دوکه نه وي. There shouldn't be hoodwink, is it? And this advertisement contains a full information clear about the product. They shouldn't conceal, hide the information from the customer. Like for example, your example Mumdar Kama, inserting harmful chemicals into products without informing the buyer is deceptive advertisement. Like a sanga this is why suppose che yo syrup de and syrup contains alcohol. Or consumer business way say shwa che de ki alcohol nashte de the free de. Yeah, another example. Your product de say shwa diabetic patient de para. Is it? Or pasa pedically is sugar free. Or danna pakishta de sugar, shakar pakishta, or pasa pedically sugar free. If diabetic patient they will use such product because advertisement say the advertisement dhoka kahi lage, business lage dhoka kahi sexual with the consumer because on the label they have mentioned that it is sugar free and inside it contains sugar. So when diabetic patient they will use, definitely they will get the adverse effect. No, such type of advertisement that is fake, that is deceivable, that is hoodwink. No, by that way چې کله هم organization company advertisement today no by advertisement must be ethically sexual concerns هغه کې ethics چې کوم دی هغه involved وي. Hope inshallah idea will be clear. These are some more details about the advertisement. अब सिर्फ تاسو سره share کوم باقي دې کې دا technical چیز نشته دی. ګوره your definition دا وایي چې advertisement is taken from a Latin word and adverter which means to make known. मतलब خلقو ته information provide کول چې خلک په پوهه شي. It is a communication between a seller and potential buyer. Potential buyer means our buyers they have the power to buy and they can for example buy the product in the future, is it? So that is known as potential buyer. That is publicly addressed to mass audience, मतलब huge audience, and is intended to induce members of this audience to buy the seller's product. Then advertisement is legalized lying. H.G. Wells way. These are the promises, large promises is the soul of advertising. And public communication aimed at mass audience intended to induce members of its audience to buy the seller's product. There are different definitions about the advertisement. Baki advertisement magasiste which I have explained. Now we have two types of groups. The people who were in the favor of advertisement and the people who were clear against the advertisement. یو ډله داسې وه چې هغې وایي چې advertisement پکار دی and یو ډله داسې وه هغې وایي چې advertisement نه دی پکار. They have some arguments that why advertisement should be and why advertisement shouldn't be. First we are going to study the arguments for advertisement. It simply means the هغه ډلې arguments دي بحث دی چې هغه وایي advertisement is good, there must be advertisement. داسې وایي these arguments that justify advertisement, that they are in the favor of advertisement. Why they are favoring the advertisement? Number one, that without advertisement consumers would be uninformed about the product. If there is no advertisement, there is no information, there is no know-how about the product. Advertisement nashte de no customer tab sanga pata lagi about the product, is it? Like their product dasi de they are available in the country, is it? But agui advertisement kigi na no mung ta pata na lagi. Like for example we have some digital scanning machines. अगर digital scanning machines से कम दे अगर advertisement न कीगी नो मुझे पता न लगी चाहे these are available in the market or not, is it? देना अलावा films across globe use ads as competitive weapon. गुरा all over the world organizations से कम दे यों बल सर चे competition कई نو د کمپټیشن اساس څه دی؟ د کمپټیشن اساس تاسو ایڈورټایزمنټ دی. یو ارګنایزیشن یو پروډکټ ایڈورټایزمنٹ جوړي، بل ارګنایزیشن هغه پروډکټ چې کوم دی نور ایکسټرا اورډینری ایڈورټایزمنٹ جوړي چې کسٹمرز کنزیومرز کله دا ایڈورټایزمنٹ ویني صحیح را دے ول بی مور موټیویټډ. سو اٹ مینس دیٹ ایڈورټایزمنٹ از یوزنگ clear as a weapon, as a tool when they want to compete with one another, because organization have to show their product clear more superior in the advertisement. So it means that it is a tool of competition among the competitors. بیا دا وی ads increases consumption and spending. ads د لاسه خلق خبري، they get the idea, and when they know about the product clear they will spend the money to buy the product and their consumption rate will high. And the last, ad boosts country exports. ads د لاسه صحیح یو country export چې دی هغه سیوا کیږي. علی بابا is it OLX for example PayPal دا څومره هم چې کوم دی بهر کنټریز موږ شپمنټ راغواړو. اب why some of the product for example if we demand it and they are not available in the country, so then we have to get these products clear from the external, let's suppose shipments bahar na mungra wadu. Ab how we know about such products that these are available in the external market? This is just because of the advertisement. So therefore it simply says that advertisement boost increase the country exports. Import ki deshi, exports ki deshi. Ab now arguments against advertising. اگر ډله چې هغې وایي چې ایډورټایزنګ ښه نه دی. ریزن نمبر 1 ایډورټایزمنټ ټیل هاف ټروت. ایډورټایزمنټ چې کوم دی هغه همیشه نیم دغه وایي انفارمیشن پرووایډ کوي. سیکنډ دے کنسیل فیکټ. همیشه ایډورټایزمنټ چې کوم دی هغه انفارمیشن صحیح دی هغه هډن ساتي. اینڈ دین ډیسیو کنزیومر وذ پروفٹ گول ان مائنڈ بٹ ناٹ کنزیومر ویلفیئر. ایڈورٹائزمنٹ کې همیشه کنزیومر اورینټډ چې کوم دی صحیح شو صرف او صرف ارګنایزیشن خپل ګټه ګوري. ایڈورٹائزمنٹ داسې جوړوي چې کنزیومر بوسټ شي، کنزیومر بیکم بوسټډ and he or she is willing to pay the money to buy the product. It means every time advertisement is only profitable to the businesses. They only give clear the profit to the businesses, not they are clear in terms of the welfare of consumer. No that dala chewa da way simply che advertisement half truth way, advertisement concealing fact way, or advertisement che kam de aga sirf aur sirf paise kamane ka tarika da bala lara nashta dena wal nurum dir that arguments si صحیح چې ایڈورټایزمنٹ فار ایگزامپل هغه چې سوره مصرف کیږي ایڈورټایزمنٹ کمپنی هغه مصرف چې کوم دی هغه پرایس کې راولي and this price will pay by the ډېر زیات میتھډز دي لیکن 3 میتھډ I would like to explain. One is ambiguity, unclearness, conceal facts, information, hide the information, and exaggeration, extraordinary presenting your product. Ab number 1, ambiguity. Ambiguity simply means that unclearness. Is it uncertain? When ads are ambiguous, they can be deceiving. Like for example, the Continental Baking Company was charged with such ambiguity in its ad. Eating the profile bread would lead to weight loss. The fact was that the bread contained the same calories. څنګه ما تاسو چې ګوره یو کمپنی چې دا هغې دا دعوا کړې وه چې زموږ چې کوم برېډ سي دې سره وزن کمیږي، حالانکې اصل کې وزن نه کمیدو. صحیح شوه واټ ایور د نور برېډ چې کوم وو سیم هغوی برېډس کیلوریز هم سیم وو. Is it? So that bread was so that was basically what? That was simply an unambiguity, uncertain. صحیح شوه that was a not clear picture. Ambiguity دیته وایي. I would like to give an example. ګوره if you have seen اکثر چې کوم دی اکثر بس تاسو when you want to buy a product, let's suppose the rod چې کوم دی صحیح شوه د اوبو چې پې ګرمیږي د واټر راډ is it دا چې تاسو کله دکان نه اخلي نو یو دکان کې ساده راډ پروت دي without packing او یو چې کوم دی پیکینګ کې پروت دي is it چې دکاندار نه تاسو اخلي تاسو ته لنډ وایي چې د کم پیکینګ والا دی that is more superior صحیح شوه as compared to other. اب it means that is an ambiguity دا یو uncertain دی صحیح شوه where the information is not valid. اب دام کې دی شي صحیح شوه چې کم لیټس کریکټریسټکس دي صحیح شوه هغې راډ that is not cleared. صحیح شوه هغې وارنټي ګارنټي چې کومه ده صحیح شوه هغه ویلډ نه ده. مطلب he is presenting his product let's suppose extraordinary. He is showing that is very good. This product contains for example full trade لیکن that is uncertain. सही शो अनसर्टेन मतलब अगर की प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ फेल्यूर चिकम दे अगर हाई दे सो वट एवर वी आर क्लेमिंग सही शो अगर क्लेम चिकम दे जमू वैलिड न दे सो इट मीन्स सम टाइम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चिकम दे सही शो अगर एम्बिग्विटी न कार आली एडवर्टाइजमेंट के then the next thing is that is conceal facts. Conceal facts mean that hide the information, keep back the information from the customers. When advertisers conceal facts, they neglect to mention or distract consumers away from information. जिसंग मास्टर तो हुए, knowledge of which would probably make their product less desirable. But I would like to give an example. तब इसका आसान one example. If you have heard the name, that is a telecommunication here in Pakistan, U-phone. सही हुआ लेकिन संग चे अफगानिस्तान के इतिसालात दे सही हुआ दलतान सेम बिजनेस दैट इज रजिस्टर्ड बाय द नेम ऑफ U-phone. अब U-phone they introduces a package and the name of the package was चांद से करो बातें, is it? And चांद से करो बातें it means 2.5 सही हुआ रुपीस के नो खल्क वेच 2.5 रुपीस के ऑल ओवर द डे एंड ऑल ओवर द नाइट चिकम दे बस चांद से करो बातें दोनों में रुपये के कोई नो खल्क को चेते डेढ़ ज़्यादा सब्सक्राइब कर दा पैकेज. अब व्हाट हैपन द हिडन चार्जेस वर नॉट एक्सप्लेन नॉट मेंशन इन द टेक्स्ट इन द एडवर्टाइजमेंट. कम चे हिडन चार्जेस हो मतलब हर यौ सात ना पास चिकम दे अगर 2 रुपये कट कवले सही हुआ नो दैट वाज बेसिकली हिडन and that is known as concealing fact. That sometime when they are make the advertisement clear by the companies a piece of the information they basically keep back from their customers, and this is known as concealing facts. That way they are not mentioning or they are distract consumers away from the reality, away from the information. Now this सही दाच कम धोखा दा देता मुंगवयु concealing fact धोखा. Next we have exaggeration. What is exaggeration? Generally, exaggeration way extraordinary explaining clear your product. Like your product doesn't possess the quality, but you are explaining the quality. Like this is the way, suppose so your teacher way, Mr. Adil is a very talented teacher. He is very good. So dora takrar de. Kala Mr. Adil ta reality क्यों गोरी सही शो नोगा बेखी सिफरी. अब what does it mean? It means that person was explaining Mr. Adil extraordinary. So it means that is exaggeration. That when we are explaining presenting our product extraordinary. लेकिन दलता exaggeration मतलब दादे कि whatever the claim we have सही हुआ the मुंह कम claimy the claim must be valid, the claim must be reliable. So advertisers can mislead through exaggeration, that is by making claims unsupported by evidence. Like for example a claim that pain reliever is 50% stronger than aspirin. For example painkiller सही हुआ एस्प्रिन लका संगा च डिस्प्रिन दे ओमिडॉल दे सर दर्द दे पारा च कम गोले दे सही हुआ एस्प्रिन हम दास यो गोले दे नो यो बल प्रोडक्ट यो बल कंपनी वे च वी आर 50% मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर देन एस्प्रिन इज इट हालांकि कोई क्लेम गलत हो दे वर नॉट क्लियर इन द कंपटीशन ऑफ एस्प्रिन आर मोर स्ट्रॉन्ग सही हुआ लेकिन कोई दादा बाबा च मु 50% मोर स्ट्रॉन्ग यू एज कंपेयर टू एस्प्रिन इज द नेम ऑफ अ टैबलेट सर दर्द पर इस्तेमाल is it means that their claim was not valid अ which कम दावा वागा गलत आवा it means they were extraordinary presenting their product that is known as exaggeration. For a daily life के I would like to give an example. Zinger burger you know about the Zinger burger सही शो टोली खोरी माशाल्लाह तास बक्सल इधर ही कल हम रेस्टोरेंट तलाशी या कैफेटेरिया तलाशी चिकम तासु गोरी नो पंफलेट माने जिंगर बर्गर च दे सही शो अगर डेढ़ ज्यादा से उछत होनी जोड़ी मतलब डेढ़ घट होनी जोड़ी तासो जे कला पंफलेट के जिंगर बर्गर गोरी तासो वो हो सर जी मतलब यो जिंगर बर्गर मने को साड़े मड़ेगी इजीली इज इट लेकिन कला च रियलिटी के जिंगर बर्गर ऑर्डर कई एंड द पर्सन विल ब्रिंग द जिंगर बर्गर टू यू नो का तासो गोरी सिर्फ दो बंदून तरमंस के वड़ुक के कोन यो बर्गर प्रोती. अब what they are basically showing in the pamphlet in the advertisement and what actually clear they are bringing to you. So what is the reality and what is in the advertisement? That is known as exaggeration. That extraordinary they are showing clear they are presenting the product. That is known as exaggeration and this is also known as the doka. Hope inshallah idea bata so clear shawi hum a bit. Now we have some product safety. Now gora ma concept है सही हुआ देखिए जब हम टेक्निकल चीज़ से आप एक्सप्लेन कमा the degree of safety associated with using the product like product is safe if the risks are known and judged to be accepted or reasonably by the buyer.